Have you ever thought about friction? It's that force that lets you walk without slipping, stops your car when you hit the brakes, and even lets you hold a pen. We usually think of it as something that slows us down, a drag. But what if, in one single instant, all friction on Earth completely disappeared? What would happen? Well, it would be the start of the most catastrophic event in our planet's history. Let's start the clock. At t equals 0, the moment friction vanishes, chaos erupts. Anything not nailed down, and I mean literally anything, would start sliding. If you're standing still, you're now sliding uncontrollably. If you're walking, that push against the ground sends you rocketing backward. People, animals, cars, everything that was moving maintains its momentum but can no longer stop or change direction. Imagine billions of billiard balls careening across a perfectly smooth table. That's us. That's everything. Vehicles would become useless death traps. Brakes wouldn't work, steering wheels would turn, but the tires would just spin without gripping the road. Cars, trains, and even planes taxiing on the runway would be uncontrollable projectiles. But that's just the beginning of the horror. Our entire world is built on friction. The nails and screws holding buildings together rely on it. Without friction, skyscrapers would begin to disassemble themselves, shedding glass and steel. Bridges would collapse into rivers, and dams would burst, unleashing unimaginable floods. The very foundations of our civilization would crumble into dust in mere seconds. And what about the planet itself? The atmosphere, which is normally slowed down by friction with the ground, would be unleashed. We'd experience winds more powerful than any hurricane ever recorded, constantly whipping around the globe. These eternal superstorms would pick up everything that's now loose, dust, sand, debris, even people, and carry them into the chaotic sky. The world would become a permanent, planet-wide dust storm. A few hours later, any semblance of order is gone. No one can walk. Any attempt to push off a surface just sends you sliding away. All transportation has failed. Most machines are useless, as gears slip, belts slide off, and bolts unscrew themselves. Even the simple act of tying a knot becomes impossible. Every knot would instantly unravel. The oceans wouldn't be spared. Without the friction of the seabed to slow them down, waves would grow to monstrous heights, creating tsunamis that would wipe coastal regions off the map. The final effects are even more terrifying. Friction is what holds our planet's geology in check. Tectonic plates, held in place by immense frictional forces, would begin to slip and grind against each other, triggering constant, massive earthquakes. Mountainsides, no longer held together by friction, would collapse in the largest landslides imaginable. The entire surface of the Earth would literally start to fall apart. But over the long term, without friction to bind particles of soil and rock together, extreme erosion would pulverize the planet's surface. The constant, unimpeded wind would strip the land down to bedrock, flinging everything into the atmosphere until the Earth itself begins to disintegrate. It's a complete mass extinction event, faster and more absolute than any asteroid. So, the next time you feel frustrated by something slowing you down, remember friction. It's not just a drag, it's the invisible force that holds our entire world together. It's the glue of our existence. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this thought experiment, be sure to like and subscribe for more what if scenarios. See you next time.